talk a little bit about the President of the United States. Next week in the U.S. Senate, there's going to be a vote probably on more gun controls in this nation. So to push his agenda, the President's going to go out to Denver today and to Connecticut next week. Why? Because both those states have already passed, in the wake of Sandy Hook, stronger gun controls in their state. So the President's going to say, why can't the U.S. Senate be like Colorado and Connecticut and push something? Even though what they're suggesting really would not have affected what happened in Sandy Hook, because it doesn't affect and impact mental health screening.
So the governor in Colorado, Hickenlooper, he was behind those stricter gun control laws, banning high-capacity magazines and requiring universal background checks on gun transfers. There's a trickle-down effect of this, though, from an economic point of view as well. Colorado is a big hunting place, so now some conventions where people go there to hunt, they've been canceled, taking away business from the state. And also there are companies in Colorado that make some of these parts of guns and such who are now considering making a move out of the state. But you have to wonder why the President isn't talking about the whole comprehensive issue that many people had hopes for after the Sandy Hook tragedy happened, which did encompass maybe gun control, but also the discussion about mental health, maybe a discussion about school security. It appears that it's just one way or the highway with regard to what his thoughts are on this right now.
Right. He does mention it once in a while, but he always leads with the magazine and assault weapons ban and universal background checks, which most polls show people are for. But if I'm going to sell a gun to Steve, and he's my neighbor, and I got an extra, and I go, Steve, you want to buy a gun, $200? They want to have a situation where in Connecticut they do. All right, Steve, go get your background check. Show me you had your background check, and then I could sell you the gun. So this way you're not selling to a guy that seems normal, but he might be the next Adam Lanza or Jared Loeffner, who, by the way, never seemed normal. But they have that's a way to look at mental health and trying to find a way to loop that in. The other thing that I think is important is the NRA commissioned a study to say, hey, give us some ideas on Social Security. And they came back and said, look, if teachers are licensed to carry, let's give a free course to them so they can protect the elementary school, the middle school, the high school in that area, and find them out, and they come up with a dollar amount, how much it would be to secure schools from the next guy that wants to murder kids because they're a soft target.
The other question is, why is the President right now, and next week as well, pushing gun control? I mean, take a look at a Fox News poll from October of 2012. The most important issues facing you when you vote for president: economic, taxes, social, security, other stuff as well. I don't see guns right there. It has been
that was before Sandy Hook.
I understand, and we have seen that, you know, in the wake of Sandy Hook, suddenly a lot of people were for things that they're not for as strongly today, given the time. But is the President trying to control the news essentially by changing the topic? People really want to hear about where are the jobs. We want to know about what's going on with the euro and over there in Cyprus, and can that happen here? And what about North Korea? But rather than talk about those things, we're talking about this.
I don't know if it's so much of a distraction, because I do think the gun control issue, when you look at it in a comprehensive fashion, is a huge issue for this country. I'm thinking it's more to do with this President wanting to start laying the groundwork for a legacy. I mean, he really does not have a tremendous amount of accomplishments in his first 4 years other than health care reform. And so now he's looking at 3 more years of his presidency. I'm thinking more that he feels like he needs to go after things where he feels like he can actually make his mark and get something done.
Gretchen, but gun control is a disaster for him. I do think this, because he is trying to get his legacy. I think he's going to try. He's best off doing it on immigration, because on gun control he's getting nothing. And Democrats, for the first time, seem to be turning on him. If he has a vote on gun control, he's going to see Harry Reid's on his corner, Joe Manchin's on his corner, Senator Mark Warner's not there. You're going to run down for the first time a
for assault weapons, but maybe not for universal background checks.
Even your background checks is taking a beating.
I mean, if he's serious about guns, you know, people with issues, given the legislation that we're talking about right now, would still be able to get them. But whatever